Okay, you all come in, come in, come in. Hit the like, hit the share button. I'm just doing some things behind the scene real quick. Drop your city and state. Let me know what part of the world you are tuning in from. Let me know what part of the world. Drop your city, state, and our country. This is something different from crypto. Although I do have a great live stream for you today on cryptocurrency that I'm going to do actually after this live stream, but I want to get this live stream out the way because mainly for Facebook, but I indulge YouTube as well and put YouTube in this live stream, right? I put YouTube in this live stream. Now, through the gematria of cryptocurrency, the number 14 has been coming up a lot. And with the number 14, let's talk about what the 14th Amendment really is. 2025, 225 equals 9. 2025 is the year that which is hidden will be revealed. What does Trump presidency have to do with that? What is Trump actually doing in this role? You all come on in. This is good. This is good. Actually, this is great. Hit the like, hit the share button. Share this video on your timeline. Share with your friends, share with your families, right? So the number 9, I wrote this down many, many times. Thank you. Thank you, Monique, for following and doing your do now and checking in from Washington, D.C. Thank you for checking in from Washington. I do the numbers, the breakdown of the biblical numbers, the context and their meanings. I explained that gematria is the hidden codes of letters and their meanings and their matches in numbers and vice versa, right? There's a whole book in the Bible, a chapter in the Bible called Numbers for this very reason. Numbers are very, very important in the Bible. Jesus healed a girl at 12 years of age, right? There was a woman who suffered with the issue of blood for 12 years that was healed. Jesus had 12 disciples, including himself, made 13, and they changed the world. And this is where we get cryptocurrency like XRP and XLM that equals an XDC that equals to the number 13, because that 13 number will have a global impact and change the world. It talks about in Revelation 144, may not be Revelation, 144,000, right? 144,000. It tells us in the Bible that Jesus lived for 30 years. And then at the age of 30, he went 3 years into ministry. And he stood up and he read in the Torah that I am here to preach the gospel to the poor. He was not talking about the poor in spirit. He was talking about the poor in your bank account or your pocketbook, right? To set the captain free. He stood up and he sat down. And I think that was at the age of 12. And he read those words and sat down, and the people was at all. All of these numbers, Genesis starts out with numbers, starts out with the first day, the second day, the third, fourth, sixth day. And then it tells us on the seventh day that Jesus rests. And rest is not what we think rest means, which means to take a nap. That means to reset. And this is where we are. We are the greatest wealth transfer, the greatest financial reset of all times. This is why Trump is here for the declassification of files, back to the future, bringing up the old to bring out the truth. Again, the number 9, that which is hidden will be revealed, like a woman has a fetus in her womb, in the water and in the darkness. And that fetus at the 9th month is maturation. And at the maturation stage, the 9th month, that baby is an infant and is able to be birthed. It is born, if it's born before the 9th month or birthed before the 9th month, it is then labeled as a preemie, meaning premature. Maturation, 9th month. Jesus died on the cross on the 9th hour. And when he gave up the ghost and died at the 9th hour, he said, "It is finished." And my Facebook family have people outraged about the truth, about the 14th Amendment, not even understanding and realizing that unlocking this 14th Amendment can finally give descendants of slavery reparations. Yes, I'm on a rant today. I'm just gonna sit back and talk. Finally a president that's going to bring the truth out about reparations, about illegal immigrants. You might not like the way Trump said it, but he said it the truth. He said the truth that immigrants come in are taking the jobs that blacks would have had. I don't know if you all remember this. Well, when President Obama, or former President Obama, was in office, his secretary sent out a tweet. It was called Twitter then, tweet. Not the secretary, but someone over like the Department of Labor. It was a woman, a white female lady over Department of Labor. And she tweeted that during Obama's administration, 195,000 jobs for blacks were created versus during Trump's administration, 700,000 jobs for blacks were created. And then fact check, let me pull that up. Fact check started coming up and disputing, oh no, that's not true. That's factual. That's a lie. And she had to delete the tweet, right? And but let me show it to you. And they made her delete that tweet. Dr. Claude Anderson, I don't know if you all are familiar with Dr. Claude Anderson. And if you are a copper skin tone, you should be. Shame on you, because he's been an advocate for years for the black and brown community, educating. In fact, his most powerful quote, in my opinion, because he has a lot, is that blacks do not need segregation or integration. They need aggregation. They need to pool their resources together and work together. I know you might be telling us, well, Queen, that was done during Black Wall Street, and they burnt it down. It was many more Black Wall Streets. This is true. It was many more Black Wall Street. This is very true. But that still doesn't mean, you see, the black dollar and I'm gonna pull this up, in the black community, it exchanges hands. It does not last for 6 hours in the black community. This does not mean that you should not understand black economics in the black communities. So this was the fact check, November 11, 2020, 11. The number 11 is the gateway. The gateway to what? The gateway to another level, another frequency, the gateway to the truth. And black unemployment fell during Obama's administration. This is USA Today. And then fact check came out. See, November 11th, the gateway of truth. They said the claim that unemployment was at an all-time high during the Obama administration. President Barack Obama did nothing to help black community while in office, according to October 24th Facebook post written by President Trump. The post also alleges that black unemployment was at an all-time high under Obama. Obama did nothing, and we mean absolutely nothing for the black community, and shared more than 9,000 times. This doesn't go to the actual, let's see. Yeah, the statement about the all-time high unemployment for black people during President Obama's inaccurate. The rate climbed 19.5%, the highest recorded in 1983, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. But Obama administration policies on behalf of the black community deserve more nuanced analysis. In 2009, an economic recession rivaling the Great Depression in 1930s, USA report the overall unemployment rate went from 5.8% to 9.4%. Now, so we can get into this about the DEI as well, and thinking that it has advanced blacks. But Dr. Claude Anderson has gone on record, said that this was absolutely true. This was absolutely true, that the rate of unemployment did not help. Dr. Anderson thought I'm trying to see what you're saying. So Lonzo says, I know Dr. Claude Anderson. Thank you. Yep. He taught you what group that's what he means by aggregation. We don't need segregation or integration. And Fat Malcolm X says we don't need segregation, we need separation, but we need our own resources. We need a leveling playing field. We need everything that the white community is getting. And then Martin Luther King, toward the end, before he was assassinated, he then began to focus on the Poor People's Campaign. And then he said that I have led my people into a burning building. Why? Because he was pushing segregation. So, and Dr. Claude Anderson also goes on record and said Black people are concerned about everybody else, every other race except their own. And it's so true. And then I had someone on my Facebook to say that ninjas don't want to work. Ninjas. Now, the first thing, do you even know why you were called Niggers? Why were you called that? It just was not a racial slur. It was just not a racial slur because you were brought from Nigeria and Niger. See, most people think this is just a rant today. Because Facebook. Most people in the Black and brown copper community think that they're Africans. No, the Africans are the one who sold you into slavery because they knew you were not your own. I love Dr. Umar. He's very intelligent, very intellectual, but he knows that Yeshua was not African descent. He says that, but they know it's not true. The ancient Egyptian, see Niger and Nigeria on the map today that was reorchestrated, redone, shows that Niger and Nigeria is split, and it's not split, it's united. It's just like the Suez Canal. The Suez Canal shows a division in Africa, in the Middle East, Israel, when it's supposed to be, the original map is not showing it's supposed to be united. Right? So with that being said, Nigeria is what is called Negro land. That's in western part of Africa. That's the only place that slaves were brought from. You were not brought from all parts of Africa. So that's why Nigeria, niggers. And then they said, well, we call them Negroes. They will do their research and recognize that this is just a terminology, is a name. It will let them identify where they are really from. And then they'll realize that they are the Hebrew Israelites that Pharaoh had enslaved in the Bible, that were God's chosen people. And so let's stop calling them Negroes and niggers so they identify with who they are. And we'll call them Afro-Americans or African-Americans, so they'll think they're Africans. Yeah, I'm on a rant today. I am, because Facebook doesn't realize what Trump is doing. And I've gone on record and said I will not vote for a president that does not talk about reparations, that doesn't want to support it. And then you got people in the Black and brown community that talk against each other and say that Black people don't want to work. But if we had reparations for slavery, which we should have, you wouldn't have to work. You shouldn't have to work. They got enough free labor from our ancestors that you have not been rewarded for. Oppression, suppression, inhumane treatment. Inhumane, dismembering bodies, feeding children to alligators. When Genesis in the Bible says Adam was created from dirt, that dirt means Adama. Adama is feminine, first of all. You've never seen a man birth a woman. A man has never come before a woman. Adama, dirt, was here first, and thus the name Adam came from Adama. I'm not researching for you today. You go do your own research. I'm just a rant. I'm ranting today. You Google, you fact check me for yourself. You've never seen anywhere in this world where man had to come before a woman. It's kind of like asking the question, which came first, the chicken or the egg? So they didn't teach you about Adama, but what color is dirt? What color is dirt? Read Revelation 2:9. That says, these people are not Jews. They're from the synagogue of Satan. The reason why the Bible states, if my people, Jesus, from the tribe of Judah, you may like to eat ham. You may like to cook with ham hocks, but you are not from the lineage of Ham. You're from Sham. Ham is Africans. If my people, Hebrew Israelites from the tribe of Judah, Jesus, which are called by my name. So the people that's possessing the land of Israel today, they're moving out because they know that their time is up. They know they came in and took over their land and pushed the Hebrew Israelites out. And then Africans said, you're not of us, so we'll sell you. We'll sell you into slavery. We'll sell you into slavery. No problem. You're not of us anyway. Why do you think when Jesus was born, he was able to blend in so well in the Middle East? Why do you think Joshua, who wore the coat of many colors, was able to blend in with Pharaoh and the ancient Egyptians and the Africans? He was Hebrew Israelite. Right? And so with this being said, God said, if my people, not all people, my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and turn and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways. What wicked ways? Well, Hebrew Israelites, cocky, arrogant people. God brought them out of slavery under Moses, under Pharaoh, which was ancient Egyptians, Africans, slavery again. Soon as Moses went to up top Mount Sinai to get a word from God and he came down, they were worshiping gold and the golden calves and partying. And Moses broke the tablets. Couldn't even tell the people what the tablets, the 10 Commandments said that God wanted them to abide by. So thus come Deuteronomy 28. Say, okay, if you follow these blessings, my people, you'll get all of this. But if you don't, you're going to get this. And then Deuteronomy 28 says, you know what, I'm just going to pull that up. Some things I'm going to let you see. Hard-headed, didn't understand. He said, all you have to do is follow my instructions. Don't be a cocky, arrogant people. Be humble. If my people, not all people which are called by my name, was my name. In the Old Testament, it was God, it was Yahweh. New Testament, Jesus, Yeshua. Hebrew Israelites' names, Jewish type names. The book of Daniel, Old Testament, and Revelation gives you a description of what God looked like. And so Deuteronomy 28:68 says that and the Lord slavery, transatlantic slave trade. You already bought here once, or your ancestors was, rather. Maybe. Some people may be African that's here now, right? And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and for bondmen and workmen, which no man can buy you. He said, so transatlantic slave 1614, you was bought and sell. You was bought and sell. And what is Trump shipping illegal immigrants out of right now? In ships. They're not on planes. Ships, shipping them out. Where's Egypt? America, Babylon. He said, and then you should be sold, and there you should be sold to your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you this time. He's saying, this time no man shall redeem you. What other culture was bought into a land that they were not familiar with and worked into slavery and inhumane conditions? We talk about Yeshua being crucified, hung for a tree. A lot of our ancestors the same way. Innocent blood. It was called lynching. So why would Jesus be any other color but copper? He was done the same way our ancestors was. According to the Bible, a crucifixion is the same, mirroring the same thing as the lynching. What other race have had to experience being hung from a tree to death? The Creator sold his people are very stiff. No, the Creator didn't sell. He allowed the Africans to sell. The Africans sold the Hebrew Israelites. But guess what? So you've watched Armageddon. You watch movies about the rapture, and they tell you about the rapture, Jesus returning, and Revelation. That's why Revelation tells you, just read this book. Just read it, and you'll be blessed. You know how many people have? Why don't they teach you more about Revelation in churches? It says just read it. Even if you don't understand it, just read it. But if you understand it, my goodness, if you understand it. In Revelation, Yeshua says, I'm returning, but this time it's going to be with fire. They didn't tell you why God's returning. He says, I'm returning because of the treatment of my people. He's coming back to war with fire. He told Noah in Genesis, I will never ever destroy the earth again with water. But guess what? In Revelation, I'm coming back with fire. Why? Joel, the book of Joel prophesied about this. Said because of the treatment, because of this slavery, 400 years officially ended. The 400 years of judgment. Let me pull that up. See, we know that it's in Acts. We know that it's in Genesis that God talks about judgment for 400 years of slavery. But it's also in the book of Acts. So you can't say, oh, Queen, that's just Old Testament stuff. No. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's New Testament as well. And so they changed the calendar. We're on a Gregorian calendar. So many people would calculate according to that calendar. 400 years, Queen, is 2014 because it started in 1614. No, when you look at the original calendar back then, 400 years, judgment started October of 2024. That's why Trump is coming in at this transition. This is also in Genesis 15 and 13 as well. But Acts 7:6. God spoke to him in this way. 400 years your descendants will be strangers in a country wrong. And they will be enslaved and mistreated. This is New Testament. NIV says they will be oppressed as slaves for 400 years. And God spoke to this effect that they will be offspring of and will be soldiers in a land belonging to others who would enslave them and afflict them for 400 years. But hey, it doesn't end there. It's 7 and 7. What's the number 7? Divine transition. 7, God told Noah, I never destroy the earth again with water. He said, I'm transitioning from this. The 7th day, he bankrupt. He reset. In the beginning, you add Genesis, Revelation. Genesis, genes, your makeup, your gene. Isis is ancient Egyptian study. Goddess name is Isis. Gene Isis, Genesis, your genes, your DNA, your genetic makeup. So you add Genesis, Revelation. Revelation says there will be a new heaven. Then say God that was going to just totally destroy. It's never been totally destroyed. So you add Genesis 1 and 1 with Revelation that states that, and it reads, in the beginning was a new heaven and a new earth. If you want to get the full understanding what in the beginning means. So Acts 7 and 7. But I will punish the nation they serve as slaves, God said. What nation is that? America. And afterward, they will come out of that country and worship me in this place. Why do you think so many Black people are not making live streams on TikTok and say, hey, it's better over here? And I moved to Thailand. I moved out of country. I don't have to work as hard. I'm not as oppressed. I asked the question the other day, if just 20% of Blacks left America, how would that affect America's GDP? How would that affect America's GDP? And I'm going to pull it up for you. Now that you'll have some people that say, oh, go back to Africa. They know they don't want that. They really don't want that. We built America. Now they want to say, go back to Africa. West Africa, after our ancestors rather built it. When Blacks in the entertainment and all of the other arts and crafts that we offer to America, right? But the impact of 20% of Black Americans leaving the United States on the GDP, the gross domestic product, would affect it in this way. Black Americans make up about 13.6% of the U.S. population. That's 45 million people. A 20% reduction would mean roughly 9 million people leaving, just 9 million people. Black workers contribute trillions to the U.S. Trillions to the U.S. economy through wages, employment, and business ownership. Reducing the labor force could lower productivity, especially in industries with high Black employment, healthcare, transportation, government jobs, and entertainment and sports. A 20% decrease could remove hundreds of billions of dollars in economic activity, hundreds of billions in economic activities, leading to losses for businesses that rely on Black consumers. And you all are afraid about DEI. In fact, Dr. Claude Anderson said the DEI, when Obama administered it, helped Hispanics produce 40% more jobs for Hispanics and none for Blacks. Black-owned businesses generate hundreds of billions in revenue to employ millions. Fewer businesses means job losses, less tax revenues, reduced local economic activity. A population decline will lead to lower housing demand, affecting property values, rental market, local economies. Losing 20% of Black Americans will hurt the GDP of America through labor shortages, lower consumer spending, business closures, tax revenues declining. it will mean an economic setback, not just for Black communities, but for the entire U.S. of A economy. Just 20%. Someone says California fires. California, because it never rains in Southern California, right? And because it's not cloudy, it's very sunny, healthy state. Is the best state out of all of the 50 states for solar energy. That's why they have California, the Smart City 2030 agenda for California. So let me share this video with you. Just some additional reinforcement and understanding about the 14th Amendment and how this would actually help Blacks finally get reparations. Finally get reparations.
And as we are fighting hard to get birthright citizenship or automatic citizenship for the children of illegal aliens, that's another way. It's automatic citizenship for children of illegal aliens. That's the other term that they use, which is actually more accurate, more understandable. And it's ridiculous. We're the only country that has it, and certainly the only country that has it to that extent. And it wasn't meant, if you look, it was really meant for children of slaves. This is when it happened. The children of slaves. It was not meant for everyone to come into our country by airplane or charging across the borders from all over the world and think they're going to become citizens. It's not meant for that. It wasn't meant for that. And hopefully at some point the courts will understand that without having to go through a whole big deal. This was meant for the children of slaves. And look at the timing of it and you'll see. And I hope judges will understand that. And it has to stop because it's really hurting our country very badly in the coming weeks.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Data with the Data. So today I want to talk about Donald Trump giving a specific definition of the $14th Amendment, and he summed it up in 1 minute. And yes, he said the word slaves. Tariq Nasheed, he agreed with Donald Trump. He posted on X, Trump said the 14th Amendment was meant for
nation. And as we are fighting hard to get birthright citizenship or automatic citizenship for the children of illegal aliens, that's another way. It's automatic citizenship for children of illegal aliens. That's the other term that they use, which is actually more accurate, more understandable. And it's ridiculous. We're the only country that has it, and certainly the only country that has it to that extent. And it wasn't meant, if you look, it was really meant for children of slaves. This is when it happened. The children of slaves. It was not meant for everyone to come into our country by airplane or charging across the borders from all over the world and think they're going to become citizens. It's not meant for that. It wasn't meant for that. And hopefully at some point the courts will understand that without having to go through a whole big deal. This was meant for the children of slaves. And look at the timing of it and you'll see. And I hope judges will understand that. And it has to stop because it's really hurting our country very badly in the coming weeks.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Data with the Data. So today I want to talk about Donald Trump giving a specific definition of the 14th Amendment, and he summed it up in 1 minute. And yes, he said the word slaves. Tariq Nasheed, he agreed with Donald Trump. He posted on X, Trump said the 14th Amendment was meant for children of slaves in America. I 100% agree with Trump. Hashtag FBA. Yes, because we all know when Trump said slaves in America, he was talking about foundational Black Americans, American descendants of slaves, Black freedmen. Yes, saying slaves is very specific. It's saying Black Americans because that's what the 14th Amendment was for. So why are these Black liberals still losing their mind? They're still mad. Look at the comments. Wait, what slaves? The ones they tried to pretend didn't exist by erasing history from education? That selective amnesia, conveniently used when it's beneficial, is nasty work. What are you complaining about? They didn't erase it from history. Are you going to leave it up to the public school system to educate your children? You should not. I will hope not. We have another one. 1 week down, 4 more years to go. Hand over face. And we have another one. Just like he spent his entire campaign saying he didn't know anything about Project 2025, then as soon as he won, they said Project 2025 was his agenda all along. This man lies is what I'm trying to tell y'all. First of all, everybody lie. However, he wasn't lying here. He wasn't lying at the GOP retreat when he broke down a true meaning of the 14th Amendment in 1 minute. But since you guys don't want to believe Trump and he's a liar, do you believe Judge Joe Brown? Because he talked about the 14th Amendment for over an hour in his segment Injustice for All. Take a look. A little bit bigger, but
leave it up so people can look at it at their least. Okay. But here's the preeminent thing here that you need to understand about what you're looking at. Some people want to do things yesterday, right now, immediate, instant gratification, etc. That's not how the real world works. Now, when the Civil War is over, you have the 13th Amendment that frees the slaves, all right? It makes slavery illegal except for the classic circumstance as a punishment for a criminal offense. In fact, if you're locked up, you're enslaved anyway because you don't have freedom of, you don't have the freedom to do what you want. You're subject to somebody else's absolute control. But the 14th Amendment had to deal with this case called Dred Scott, which was a horrible thing, the opinion of which was written by an idiot named Taney. And it was still good law. And it said that Negroes / former slaves could not be citizens. So the 14th Amendment wanted to address that point quickly and say, if we're going to deal with giving these people rights as citizens, we have to clarify things so there is no question the Constitution now says they are citizens if they're born here. That was dealing with this enormous trove of former slaves that had been freed thanks to the Civil War and the 13th Amendment.
There you have it. You heard it. From a judge, a retired judge who knows the law and the Constitution inside out. You could read the 14th Amendment yourself. And I love the fact that he referenced the 13th Amendment. This is why you know for sure the birthright citizenship does not apply to foreign nationals. Why? Well, parents of foreign nationals, the children of parents of foreign nationals. Why? Because the 14th Amendment came out after the 13th Amendment, which freed the slaves. First, you freed the slaves, and then you made these same slaves citizens of the then United States of America, because this was after 1776, the Revolutionary War against Britain. And it became the United States. But it took over 100 years later, well, close to 100 years later, for them to end slavery here. And when they ended slavery, the 13th Amendment, the 14th Amendment said, you free slaves are now citizens of the United States. That is what the 14th Amendment is for. It says nothing about foreign nationals born on this soil or a child born to foreign nationals who are not citizens are now citizens. It doesn't say nothing like that. It doesn't allude to nothing like that. So you're mad at this man for getting up in a room full of white people now, because listen, majority of Republicans are white. That really hasn't changed. But hopefully I would love to see the Republican Party of Frederick Douglass. Yeah. But anyway, you calling this man a liar, and he did not lie. Now, in conclusion, this debate is going to go to SCOTUS. Yes, it has to. His birthright citizenship executive order was blocked by a federal judge, which is a good thing because you have to be blocked on a federal level in order for it to be petitioned to be seen in the Supreme Court. And that is exactly where this issue is going, because it has to be clarified for all you illegal foreign nationals and everybody else that's upset. It has to be clarified for the idiots to understand that birthright citizenship only applies to the enslaved people and their lineage, which would be us, FBA, ADOS, Black freedmen, Black Americans, not African Americans. No. Not Mexicans, no. Not someone south of the border, not foreign nationals, but Black Americans. Far too long, illegals have been abusing our justice system and our Constitution, and it has to stop. It has to stop. That is why I am in 1000% of Donald Trump deporting these illegal migrants, take the whole family. Yes. It has to be done. Close the border. Yes, it has to be done, because the prior administration, they were idiots. They got it confused. They thought the 14th Amendment meant for everyone. But you have these crazy Black liberals in media running around here saying, oh my God, he banned DEI. We're going back to Jim Crow. But you just had a prior administration that included foreign nationals to be protected under the 14th Amendment that was meant for enslaved Black Americans. So who's the real racist here? Who's the real bigot? Who's the liar? Anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you for tuning in to another video of Dana with the Data, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Dana with the
So I think that answers your question, Israel. What is he? Well, first of all, unless I heard that wrong, he said enslaved people, not slave, or Slavonic people, which that would include a lot of regions of people. But I can tell you something about Russia and why Putin is showing the Black Jesus now, really. Because Slavonic people would include Russia as well. But he said enslaved. And then when you connect the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment, it lets you know he's talking about transatlantic slaves and their ancestors specifically, right? Yeah, that is dope. Now, right, people they don't even know the Democrats were called Dixiecrats. Dixiecrats. I have family members, religious. We vote Democrat. They don't even understand. You know what? I'm gonna share you out some Dr. Clyde Anderson today. But let's break down 14, what this means. And some of you all may or may not be crypto investors. I'm going to share with you why you need to be, in my opinion, not financial advice, because cryptocurrency all is tied to this new change as well, this new economic system. That's why the disruption of food stamps and debt payment, and the potential disruption of student loans. Why? Because the switch has to be flipped. The switch has to be flipped. We're moving to a new world economic system. We're moving to a new world economy. And all of this stuff is going to happen. It's happening. It has to be done. We have like 2 more days in January. 2 more days in January. And I'm going to show you this as well. Dr. Clyde Anderson wrote to President Trump after his first presidency. And President Trump is actually following the suggestions of Dr. Claude Anderson. Dr. Claude Anderson, thank you. The Martin Luther King, the Poor People Campaign, thank you. That finally woke up. Number 11 is the awakening number. It is the gateway, the portal. That finally woke up and said, I believe I've led my people into a burning building. Give me a second. Thank you, Dr. Claude Anderson. Thank you, Dr. Frederick K.C. Price, who passed on transition. But he was talking about the Monopoly board and said, hey, if blacks are not giving any money, how can they win? Martin Luther King said, how do you expect a bootless person to pull them up by their own bootstraps? The awakening number, John 11:11, it says, our friend Lazarus is asleep, and I am going there to wake him up. They didn't know what he was talking about. They said, Lord, if he is asleep, he'll get better. Jesus said, no, that's not the sleep I'm talking about. Yeshua said, that's not the sleep I'm talking about. He's not aware. He's not conscious. He doesn't have the Christ conscious. So Tuesday, April 4th, 30 AD at sunset, began the Hebrew calendar. Why? You need to know the Hebrew calendar because it's different from the Gregorian calendar, and it ties to the Bible of Hebrew Israelites, God's chosen people, right? So Nisan, just like the vehicle Nissan, began Hebrew calendar Nisan 14. It was just after sunset, right? That Yeshua, Jesus, kept the last Passover with his disciples, instituting the Christian Passover ceremonies, foot washing, during the day portion of Nisan 14, which was Wednesday, April 5th. April. If you're in cryptocurrency, I have been decoding the Simpsons. And the black woman in that crypto exchange had a name tag for a reason. Her name was April. So, with this being said, April 5th, Jesus is condemned by the Romans. He is then tortured through beating. What else? Transatlantic slaves, same thing. Scourging and beating. Forced to drag a stake to Gothia. We can look at the ex-Gothia. Right? The X in that. And then crucified, the skull and bones ritual. I'm not even going to get into that one. Gothia in the Bible, skull and bones society. Then crucified from noon to 3 p.m. 3 p.m. is the 9th hour. It is finished. This is what Nikola Tesla talks about. 369, the secret, the if you understand the code of 369, you tap into the powers of the universe. So after scourging and beating, he is then buried in a tomb just before sunset, his perfect sacrifice. And God manifested or transitioned in flesh and rose on the third day in the spirit, 33 degrees. Ice is then transformed and transfigured at 33 degrees temperature into water. That's when it can be liquidated, 33 masonry. But notice in the video I just shared with you, she talks about a free people, Freemasons, what it was supposed to do. In fact, Wells Fargo opened a bank after the slaves were freed, and it was called Freedmen's Bank. and they stole their slaves' money. Wells Fargo. The initial name of their bank was Freedmen's Bank. So what calendar year do we celebrate Nissan 14 this year in April? April the 12th of 2025 begins it. That Saturday, that Sabbath day, that Saturn's day, Sabbath day, Saturday, Saturn, XLM, connected to Interstellar, Stellar, and Saturn. I've been telling you all XLM is going to be the world reserve currency. Right? But let me stay on top because I can get into crypto as well. So then 14, what numbers are in the line? I've been telling you all X. X marks the spot. What number shows in the gematria of 14? Well, as this is loading up, I can go ahead and tell you I've done it so many times. I can tell you in my sleep. It's XLM, XRP. The reverse reduction is 14 here. 13, 12 disciples. Jesus himself made 13. The number 12 in the Gregorian calendar means an ending in the Gregorian calendar. 12 months of the year, right? So the transition in Jesus made 13 with the 12 disciples. So we see the reverse reduction, the 14 in alignment. And I've been telling you all, we're going to see something big with these cryptos in the month of April. Not only did the Simpsons predict it, but I'm showing you the gematria behind it and then the connection with Nissan 14. This also has to do with the 14th Amendment. XLM, XRP, and XPR. 14. We're talking about a wealth transfer of transition out of physical money. I talked about 33. Jesus, you can put the clues together, connect the dots, died at the age of 33. Physical form then was transitioned after 3 days into a spiritual form. 33 degrees Celsius, ice is then being able to illuminate it or melts back into liquid, 33 Mason. So then we have, with that being said, the 14 that's connected to these crypto, Brad Garland House, XRP, these cases, April, I think the 7th, Brad Garland House can then put in an appeal, the final appeal, the finalization, April 7th. And then we see when Nissan 14 is celebrated. And these three cryptos, X, global. That's why Malcolm went by X, because he had global presence and dominance, not just in the United States. So some more evidence. Dr. Claude Anderson, I told you I was going to show you all that on his letter to Trump that I think was at least 5 or more years ago. After Trump's first presidency, he reached out to Dr. Claude Anderson. Dr. Claude Anderson talks about he was the only president. Obama administration never did. He was the only president to reach out to him. So let's hear from Dr. Claude Anderson.
books, and that's never going to change. And so anyway, without me talking too much, I want to welcome my dear friend, Dr. Claude Anderson. How you doing today, sir?
Good morning, Dr. Watson. I've missed you, and I'm glad to see us back together again.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to talk to you again. And I'm gonna tell you what, I was really excited because when we were scheduling this conversation, Michelle, who speaks to your wife, she Joanne, she sends me this article, and I want you guys to know how it kind of went down. I reached to Michelle and I said, hey, let's get Dr. Anderson back in here. We need a dose of Dr. Anderson. Black people need this man's mind. And so she set the interview up. She sent over an article, and she said, Dr. Anderson would like for you to read this to prepare for the interview. So I said, okay, so what is this? And it is one of the most powerful and explosive analyses of immigration that I've ever seen. It's powerful because it creates a conversation and a narrative that Black folks rarely discuss. Black people don't get a chance to really talk in terms of our own ideas that came from us. Usually when it comes to topics like immigration, we're following the talking points of the Democratic Party. And so without me telling you what you should believe, as you guys know, I don't tell you what to think. I just encourage you to think for yourself. I'm gonna let Dr. Anderson kind of break some of this down. And this was now, Dr. Anderson, let me ask you this. So this report you sent me, this was sent over to the Trump administration. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Excuse me.
Okay.
The Trump administration. Excuse me. Let me get a drink of water here a second.
Oh, it's okay. All right. Take your time. Take your time. Okay. So
the Trump administration had petitioned me via telephone, I guess, and some emails, I guess, about 20 times, as if I would please consent to coming meeting with them in the White House and discussing immigration from my perspective, from a Black perspective, because that's something that's never been brought up. That in the immigration question, Black folk have never been included in the equation. And what does that mean for Black folk immigration? And what I said is that immigration has always been extremely harmful and negative for Black folk ever since 1790, the first immigration law. And so what I did, I drafted about a three or four page document that shows exactly the negative impact that immigration has on Black folk. And no Democratic Party, Republican Party, Independent Party, conservatives, liberals, nobody has ever put the impact that immigration has on Black folk into the discussions. And so I put that out now so that Black folk forevermore cannot sit there and let people talk about these issues without bringing up the mitigating circumstances that are imposed on Black folk by immigration throughout history. And that's what that document is about. It shows you how it is illegal, unconstitutional, and immoral to be bringing in an unending flow of immigrants in this country over Black folk. That is in violation of the second constitution in this country, which was the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment and the civil rights laws. And yet the Supreme Court neutralized those during the Reconstruction period that occurred between 1866 and 1876, so that white folk now did not have to adhere to be able to ever discuss Black folk. And it came up again in the 1960s when the civil rights movement mistakenly and uninformedly began to talk about multicultural diversity, people of color, and everything but Black folk. So Black folk now, so I must congratulate those people that for the first time in the history of the nation, they've achieved what they wanted to achieve. Black folk are now irrelevant, unnecessary, and invisible in our society. Nobody in the media, print or electronic media, can ever talk about Black folk, Black issues. And that's what this paper is about. That's what all my books about. But since I announced with you and other people across the country with our last meeting that I would be willing to lead and promote a Us Too movement in this country to bring Black folk back out of the shadows in this country, back to the front pages in this country, where they've earned the right to be. And since that time, it had imposed a negative impact on all of my books, because my books have so been the foundation for a new movement to elevate and Black folk and upgrade them to a primary status of an exceptionality people in this country.
All right. So Dr. Anderson, Dr. Claude Anderson, author of Powernomics, that's who I'm speaking with, by the way. So in this letter that you wrote to the Trump administration, you start off in this article. We're going to find a way to make this available where everybody can read it. You start off by saying this. You say, executing immigration policies without mitigating the negative impact that those policies might have on Black Americans is illegal and unconstitutional. The 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, enacted at the end of the 1860 Civil War, mandated that Black people be treated in a manner similar to whites. Since then, 6 succeeding generations of immigrants have been fast-tracked into full American Dream membership and benefits over Black Americans who remain the nation's official underclass. Can you kind of speak to some of that?
Well, see, the 13th Amendment all came into, in the 14th Amendment and the 15th Amendment and the Civil Rights laws came in effect to try to redress the 1857 Dred Scott decision. And I'm sure I know you're very familiar with the Dred Scott decision in 1857, where the Supreme Court and Justice Taney in the Supreme Court says a black man, or basically Negroes, have no rights that a white person is bound to respect because they are property, they are outside and underneath the society. Therefore, they're not to be respected nor be granted any rights and privileges. That's what the Dred Scott decision said. And but that was in 1857. But when the Civil War broke out, you had a few radical Republicans, like Charles Sumner, Thaddeus Stevenson, Congressman Benjamin, who stood on the congressional floor and said that in this country, Dr. Watson, that now you got a civil war going on and trying to free blacks, that black folk can never be free. They only got two options. They can either be free or be slaves. But to be free, they must minimally have 40 acres, a mule, and $100. And therefore, we must institute a new constitution. That constitution be the 13th Amendment, the 14th Amendment, 15th Amendment, and the Civil Rights laws, which says that black folk minimally must now be given that which they've been deprived of. They must be given rights and privileges, but more importantly, they must be given some wealth, some land, 40 acres, and a mule, because rights and privileges can only exist if you have the economic wherewithal. Those rights and privileges are directly associated with what you own and control and possess and what you have access to. That's what the 13th and 14th and 15th Amendment, it was written exclusively for black folk. It had nothing to do with genders or trisexual, bisexual, or whites, or immigrants, anybody else. It was to correct the injustices that have been imposed on black folk for 360 years. But when that happened by 1865, black folk were supposed to have been put into a protected class called the Freedmen Bureau, which means that they've so been given land and be protected. But after Lincoln got assassinated, Johnson became the president of the United States. He immediately said, no, give these black people nothing and let's strip the Freedmen Bureau of the resources put into that and give it back to the Southerners. Give back all the land, confiscate all the land we've confiscated during the Civil War from white Southerners and plantation owners. Let's give that land back to them. And we need, and so when they did that, the North says, well, fine, now that the war is over, we don't care. We're going to go now and develop the West. An agreement was reached between the North and the South that says, the North said, we don't want blacks coming north. You can have those black folk. And so the South said, fine, we need them because giving us back the land, it means nothing unless we have a labor class, if it's not slave labor, a cheap labor class. So the South enacted black codes and Jim Crow segregation that again took blacks back into semi-slavery again. And they were kept in there for another 100 years from 1860s up until 1960s again.
So freedman members that was supposed to be done. That's why I know we're not talking about the Slavonic people. 13, 14, 15 Amendment. That's where they get Freemasonry from, which is a flip of what freedman was supposed to do. So now we got a president or a classifying and saying, hey, now these people can be in position. Because if you're identified by a color, African American, Black, Afro American, but not an ethnicity group, you're not eligible for reparation. But now that the truth is being exposed, the eligibility is here. Why? Because they know judgment is coming. Revelation says, I'm coming, Acts 7 and 7, Genesis 15 and 13. I'm coming to judge the country, the nation, the corporation rather, that did this to my people. Yes, we were hard-headed. Yes, we were stiff-necked, but that still doesn't stop the judgment. That still doesn't stop God's judgment. That still doesn't stop God's wrath. Yeah, they told you about a rapture will coming. They didn't tell you why though. I'm ready for God to come back. Are you really? You really? Because he said, this time I'm coming for war. This time I'm coming riding on a horse. This time I'm coming with fire for judgment. And to be honest with you, when the people really find out what Russia has for the United States, they're going to try to leave out of here anyway in books. That's why I told you how to get your physical off the grid money, because people are going to be paying silver and everything else to get out of here. Babylon, America's falling in ships. They're going to try to get out by the groves. Conscious Cat says the 14th Amendment is for us because we were already here. Yeah, we was already everywhere. We was in China before China was. We was in America. 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue. He didn't find anything. That's what Malcolm X says. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. He stole it. That's what the person that left a comment about the Kansas City Chief on my live stream and Philadelphia Eagle about, and that's why I was telling you all about Dick Gregory said he was not going to speak at Bob Marley's event or being an opening act for that event, because he said, I don't agree with your song, Buffalo Soldiers. Those soldiers were sent to kill the buffaloes to starve the Indians, Black Native Indians. You know, Buffalo Soldier stole from Africa. First of all, they wasn't stole from Africa. They were sold from Africa by Africans. Brought to America. I love the groove of the song, but the lyrics are not the truth. So Christopher Columbus went to his people, said, hey, it's a group of people already over here. We're going to call it the Americans. And we can enslave these people. And I won't even get into him. And then you got people arguing about, they taking Black history out of schools. They teaching you wrong about it anyway. They're not teaching you the truth about it anyway. You ought to be glad. Because now you're brainwashed. As Malcolm X said, you're bamboozled. You're hoodwinked. You don't know your true history. You find Trump and thought this benefits you when it didn't. This kept you in bondage. You find student loan debt, and the DEI finally said, okay, you get your degree. We'll hire you based off merit, not off of your ethnicity only. Now these degrees that you're getting thousands of dollars of debt in, and now that you have the degrees, you can actually get hired on that status instead of being in student loan debt and being in financial bondage and slavery, and can't even find a job that's high paying enough to cancel out the debt. Yes. I'm tired of y'all. Tired of you not knowing your history, not seeing what's happening in plain sight, not understanding the Bible. Tired of you. All on Facebook. You don't want financial freedom. You just want free stuff. Taking away food stamps, taking away financial aid. They kept you in bondage anyway. And yes, they're going to have to put a pause and freeze on this stuff, because we are changing to a new world economy, digital cryptocurrency. This stuff is going to be revamped. And I'm telling you, some of you all, you got 3 or 4 months to understand it. And even if you don't understand it, you need to take action. I'm not going to speak on Caesar Borgia. I don't feel like talking about that today. If you don't go to the book of Daniel and Revelation and see the description of Jesus, you won't understand Caesar Borgia anyway. It's right there. The Bible is right. You've been taught wrong. It's right there in the Bible. Just like taxes. Taxes was never for individuals, right? Income earning individuals. It was for institutions. Mosaic law, Tithing was never for everyday working class people. It was for the priesthood. And it was always in form of a commodity. To keep food in my house, Malachi 3 says or states. Then religion said, hey, we can profit out this. We'll tell working class people that tithing is supposed to be for them. And Malachi 3 is only written to that priesthood, to that covenant that Jesus made for that particular group of people. So you wonder why you're quoting Malachi 3, got to open up the windows of heaven, pour me out a blessing, I won't have room enough to receive. Return to me, how can a man rob God? He says, you've already robbed me in tithes and offering. He wasn't even talking to us. That was a covenant, a contractual agreement with that particular group of people. That's why you're quoting scriptures that's not manifesting or coming to pass in your life, because it's not to you. It wasn't for you. Niggerland, Nigeria, yes, Niger, and Nigeria. West Africa, not all parts of Africa. And you're not African, most of you not. Yes, Richard Pryor did tell the truth. He sure did. He sure did. In fact, speaking of Richard Pryor, which one I want to play Dick Gregory, but I'm gonna play this first. Because Pastor Darby, 10 years ago, this man on his channel told everything 10 years ago. These black men salute to you. Dick Gregory, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, the other Martin Luther King, Poor People Campaign, that Martin Luther King that said we're coming to Washington to get our check. We should have reparations, that Martin Luther King. So many black men have shed blood, given their lives. Pastor Darby just, he transitioned mysteriously. Thank you for subscribing. So let's listen to Pastor Darby.
Put my title up. Right. You see it? And you do your own research. It's not a racist thing, it's a truth thing. Now when we accepted this Christ to be white, nobody has had a problem with that. Even though all the evidence, even in the Bible itself, scriptures was telling us, but we still accepted it because we love God, right? But now that we're starting, this is the end time revelation. The Bible, an angel told Daniel, shut up the book to the end. Close it up to the end. Knowledge is going to be revealed in the end. Well, this is the knowledge that God is revealing, because it's very important to know who's who. Are you understanding what I'm saying? And so now that we are trying to find out some things, we have all kinds of opposition and people, even our own people, because it's so difficult for slaves to know they was special. It was something about them. When all your life you've been told you was a slave, that might have been the most damaging that might have done the most damage to my self-esteem that I ever had at the realization when I went to school that my lineage went back to slavery. And I'm seeing these white boys identifying with Christopher Columbus and identifying with Franklin and all them. And I'm sitting there like, I don't know who I am and I have no idea what else to say. And all they told me was I was a slave, and that's the extent of my knowledge. That hurt my self-esteem. I saw the white boy when he found out who he was and who I was. He looked down on me at that point. And I felt low because I had no history to point to that I wasn't always in this condition. But that was the white supremacist or the colonial intent to keep you from knowing who you are, so you would never ever want to be more than what they told you you are. So our little thug Negroes in the street are just slaves. The images have come from Jewish and European people who go into the hood the same way they went and got step and fetch it and sleep and eat and get the worst of us and put us on TV and say, this is y'all, and they pay our people to degrade ourselves and coon on TV, and they'll give millions of dollars to look bad and look degrading, and so they can put the image out there that this is who y'all are. look at some messages. One of them called Who Are We? That's a message you can get into, and that'll give you all the foundation of this. Go to Joel chapter 3. Put me on the screen, Tim. What I got? Oh, yeah. Still go to Joel chapter 3. The Jewish-Roman War. Now, this is where the last time the true Hebrews were in Jerusalem in 70 AD. This is the last time the real Hebrews, say real, Hebrews were in Jerusalem. Put it on me, Tim. Now, the Hebrews that are there now are converts. They come from Khazaria in the Caucasus Mountains, White Mountains, in the southern hemisphere of Russia. They had a king in 700, was it AD, 70 AD, called King Bulan. He decided that they had Christians coming against his kingdom on one side. He had Muslims coming on the other side. He didn't want to be Muslim because they was called the serpent people, very wicked people. So he knew he couldn't want to be Muslim because Muslims was too strict, and he didn't want to be Christians because Christians are real. So he said, we'll be Jews. He's
Now I'm gonna stop playing that all day because I get a copyright strike. But you know his channel. You can go there and subscribe. Now he brought out something that I want to show you. This is why we are in this time, right? We are in this time. Other thing I'm going to show you, he brought out the serpent people. The serpent people. Have you all paid attention to Michael Jordan's new Air Jordans 1 High, and it's spelled with the X, right? It's spelled with the X. Serpent people. Also in this, the Zon Durvan Bible Dictionary. Ham, perhaps, the son of Noah, born probably, before the flood, and one of the 8 of the dark races, not the Negroes. So you're from the tribe of Ham. Some of you might be. But that's why Negro land, Nigeria, Negro land. That's why I guess when they brought transatlantic slave, they started feeding them so much ham and pig and ham hocks. And people the black and brown community in America have a love-die relationship with ham, the most filthiest animal you can eat, chitlins and all that stuff. So Negroes, but Ethiopians, Liberians, not Negroes, Ethiopians, Liberians, and I can't read that one, brought a curse when he was drunk, and Ham brought a curse upon himself. And they told you from the tribe of Ham. Then this video, you need to go watch it. Also breaks down the old map, and he shows and talks about Negro land, Nigeria, again, thus why many were called niggers. Because they know where you from. And I keep hearing Pastor Darby's voice in my head. In his videos, he kept saying, they know who you are. They know who you are. They know who you are. And you want to be taught the wrong history? You want to be taught the wrong history. You're fighting for the wrong history. You're not fighting for merit pay, but you go and spend thousands in student loan. You don't get a job that pays you to get out of that debt, which is slavery. And DEI has created more jobs for Hispanics anyway, according to the statistics. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. And DEI is more than just about jobs. Anyways, for veterans, it's going to take away a lot of stuff from more people and their benefits. It's just not for that. Last thing, we got 100 people. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. Niagara Falls. A woman cannot give birth Lest a man fertilize the egg. I'm assuming you're referencing when I talked about Adama, the dirt of the earth, Adama. Thus we get the name Adam. So Adama, the dirt, dust of the earth, which is copper, black, brown. It's red clay in some places. Soil is black, right? Well, the original translation of Genesis 1 is one that says, in the beginning, Elohim, H-I-M, Elohim. Elohim is duality, plurality, masculine and feminine. That's where we get the Big Bang, somewhat of the Big Bang theory. So God did semen into Adama because it says Adam was molded. That means it had to be wet. When you make clay pottery, you can't make it without some water or substance, semen, sperm, whatever you want to call it, fertilization. So yes, dirt always has to be wet. But most been only taught that in the masculine form of God, not the Elohim, the creative that combines the masculine and the feminine. I talked about that when I talked about XRP and the tri, right? The ripple, not XRP, but the ripple logo, the triskelion logo, the tri, the Bible that was edited, put it as the Father, Son, Holy Ghost. You two men cannot reappropriate. That's why the tri is so powerful. The Trinity, right? Two men cannot recreate, reappropriate. So they took out the feminine of the Bible. It made you think God was all masculine. In fact, in Genesis 3, the whole chapter is Genesis 3, but we can get to Genesis 3 and 22, when after Eve partook of the, and I break down, even though the Bible says the forbidden fruit, it does not say apple. I break down how the apple, when you split the apple in half, you have two seeds that looks like the ovary of a woman, and then on the both sides of her ovaries, the eggs are here. That's why it was linked to an apple when you split an apple in half. Now you can do the same thing with a pear, but it was linked to an apple because apple a day keep the doctors away. Apple have so much more health benefits and it fights off oxidation that a pear does not. So they said, we'll call it forbidden fruit of apple, right? So Eve partook. Now, nobody even asked the question was, as I talked about Satan and Air Jordan's new, let me show you all that while I'm talking. Air Jordan's new sneakers that are being released and why, and the snake sneaker. Nobody talk about the snake and Saturn and Satan. And then where we got Satan, you get Santa as in Santa Claus that brings down good gifts from high as above, right? And so with that being said, you have the year of the snake. The year of the snake. And as Jordan releases these, a closer look at the sneaker. I'm probably gonna butcher this name. Xwana. The number one associated with that, Xwana. Look at these snake releases with the snake skin. Sports show you it well. I was talking about Kansas City Chiefs earlier, and the Buffalo Soldiers. I think I probably went off topic with that and didn't elaborate on it. But the Kansas City, what did the Chiefs do? They hunt buffaloes. That's why the Buffalo couldn't win. That's why Buffalo Bills didn't win. And the Bills, too, also represent what? The dollar bill. The value crashing. Moving to a new world economic system. So now you have the Kansas City Chiefs. Let me show you something else. Let's go down this rabbit hole. Who are they playing now? The Philadelphia Eagles. They can't hunt eagles, though. No, eagles are sacred birds. Sacred birds. They want them for their feathers and things so they can't hunt. So in this Economist magazine, going down the rabbit hole, Alice in Wonderland, you see Bitcoin, You see the dollar symbol. You see Ethereum. Ethereum is jumping in the rabbit hole. The dollar is about to jump in the rabbit hole. Bitcoin right here is not jumping in the rabbit hole, but this, I don't know why this is in front of it. Okay. There's the snake again. And you can't see this currency. So then what snake is connected with, what currency is connected with the snake? Currency. You got ADA. ADA as well. ADA is connected with that. ADA also in Gematria is connected to 6 as well. That's why ADA, H-bar, Bitcoin are all quantum resistant. Now I'm getting into crypto, but it all ties together. So if you don't understand crypto, you probably don't understand what I'm talking about. All quantum resistant cryptos. Now, last thing, and I'm logging off. It's been over an hour, and I was not expecting to be on here this long. We're gonna wrap it up with Dick Gregory. This is 8 years ago. 8 years ago, Dick Gregory talking about, right? I'm happy you're here as well. Right? I'm happy you're here as well. Right? It's the year of the snake in China. Absolutely, we're fighting for the wrong his story. Affirmative action had more. Yes. Yeah. Right. All right. Last thing. We're wrapping it up. Oh, I'm on it today. I didn't live stream yesterday, so I'm full of energy. I'm full of it. I've been nothing on Facebook reading this stuff. Nothing on Facebook. D Harp said, they love their joints. That's why the joints coming out, showing you our year the snake with the X on it as well. Right? All right, last one. Dick Gregory. Got to wrap it up with Dick Gregory.
A guy rape a woman, the lesser of the two evils, you evil yourself. That's how Hitler came to power. Okay? We don't see that. But having fun.
Absolutely.
Feel good.
This path forward. Yes. Folks are apoplectic, upset, mad, angry.
Anytime you vote for the lesser of the two evils, you evil yourself. That's how Hitler came to power. Okay? We don't see that. But you got to be evil. Here's a guy rapes a woman once a month, another guy rapes a woman once a day, and you got to pick one to babysat for you. You're evil. And that's what America, that's how Hitler came to power. See, few people know Hitler won that election by 288 votes. Okay? And almost wiped the world out. So you can get by with that with the church, but you can't get by with that with the universe that made the moon, the sun, and the stars. And that's where we are.
You got people who are concerned in terms of where do we go from here?
You don't go nowhere. It's not your business. Not your business. If you ever saw Trump's television shows, brilliant. So how you get so stupid all at once? If I went to apply for a job collecting garbage, they would ask me to bring in my last year's tax return. You run for president, you don't have to bring his in, and y'all tolerate it and don't know where it's going? That's what it's about. That's what it's about.
What do you say to that activist, to that young person, to that elder who's saying, okay, what do I do for the next 4 years?
You can do nothing. You're not going to make 4 years. This country won't make 4 years. It's over.
Now, when you say it's over, what does that mean?
It means decline. The Romans, the Greeks, the Egyptians, all of them fell. Okay? All of them fell. You see it.
So what should we do? Because Jim over here talks about the resistance.
Please.
They had a resistance with even going against Hitler.
Please. The Jews didn't know what Hitler was doing. Okay. Our problem is we think we part of this government, and you're not.
Yes, sir.
We want to take the Democrats and Republicans, but when Condoleezza Rice came in, she had more PhDs than the whole administration had, and they called her Condi. They never called Madam Maddie. See, there's a soda pop darker than her called Dr. Pepper. If you go get one, you better call it by its title, or they give you a chili pepper.
So I've been over here over an hour. I'm getting out almost 2 hours. He said people fussing about DEI. Said Condoleezza Rice had more PhDs than anybody. They never even referenced her, respected her by Dr. Rice by her full name. They call her Condi. So you ought to want merit. You ought to want merit. You're paying for these degrees. You ought to want merit. Then he said it's over for the United States. The fall of Rome, Russia. He said, and they said, what can we do? Right, Roland Martin and Al Sharpton them and Jesse Jackson, who brought in the African American name. It's over with for them too, because they've been suppressing black people along with religion for years. It's over with. 2025, that which is hidden will be revealed. That which is hidden will be revealed. And you better prepare. I'm not your voice. I'm not going to be the voice. I mean, I'm going to be, I educate you. I let you know. But don't put me on a pedestal and say, oh, that's our next whoever for the black community now. Because everybody that the black community put on a pedestal like that end up getting assassinated. And they don't want to do anything. Oh, I said I was going to share this from Pastor Darby. Anybody that spoke up for blacks that want to just fight, you want somebody to fight for you? No, you better fight for yourself. You better understand crypto. You better understand that gold and silver and the Constitution, like Dick Gregory just said. You think you're a part of government and you're not. That 14th Amendment said you're 3/5 of a person. That means they're saying, look, they didn't even give you 4 out of 5 stars. They ranked the slaves and our ancestors as 3 out of 5 stars. What's 3/5 of a human being? What's 3/5 of a human being? I forgot what I was going to type something. I forgot because I'm on my rant. And you want it in place. And Trump is exposing the truth. He listened finally to Dr. Claude and finally a president. Putting you in a position where you can be defined as a human being by the Constitution. Like Dr. Claude Anderson said, the black and brown community will fight for everybody else except themselves. Oh, this is what I was going to show. This is what I was going to show. And you all want me to be your voice. You won't even go buy my books. Let me go get the book back here. It's in the book. Dr. Claude Anderson said that. He said, I'm tired of my intellectual property, my energy for the black people. They won't even go buy my books. My books on my website, millimoves.com. My millionaire notes. You want to even patronize me? Some of you want to, not to everybody. Like I told you, I'm on a rant, so I'm on a rant. You want to even patronize, you want to even give a $5 super chat. But you want to go, Queen, teach Queen. I spent 2, and then you even asked me for some more of my private time. Thank you, Lisa. You did purchase these books. Thank you. Crypto Chris Profits, right? Won't give a super chat, won't nothing. Just say thank you for the knowledge, for your time. Let me read. What page is that? Lisa, you might can help me. I got Ecclesiastes 11:2 in here. Invest in 7, yes, in 8 ways, because you do not know what disaster may come upon the earth. But I want to read from here what I put in here. about the circulation of the black dollar in the black community. Y'all will go out and buy those J's, want to buy cryptos, want to buy a silver ounce. Why silver, why gold? Because in the Constitution, we're talking about what the Constitution say is true. Gold and silver, not your fiat currency, is real money. Also, someone left me a message about what they use for their cataracts. I'm tired of dropping stuff in my eyes. I really wish I just would have had the procedure and got it over with. But thank you for that information. Somebody told me drop castor oil in there, and that stuff's so thick. But I will look into it. Let me find that comment. I saw your comment. I took a screenshot of it. Thank you so much, Laverne Thomas Bay. Says try ionic botanicals and get their nectar for your cataracts. I do herbally stuff, but I know those are long term, right? Sometimes I just like to get the short term. I believe in physicians. I believe we're a physical body. Jesus had Luke the physician, right? So now somebody else talking about something else for the eyes. Listen, if you don't have cataracts, please don't just give me theory. There's don't give me something in theory. Give me something that you know for a fact. Because people give you theory all day. It's like I told about liquid chlorophyll that gave me a normal white blood count for my type of cancer, chronic lymphocytic leukemia, CLL. But I know it's brain cancer, it's breast cancer, so many different type of cancers, then the blood cancers. So I won't tell everybody they got different type of cancers, ovarian cancer, pancreas, hey, liquid chlorophyll cure. No, I know it cured me of my type cancer, CLL. I'm not saying it worked for every. And this is not something I'm telling you out in theory. This is something I've been through with. So I don't suggest things to people that I haven't personally been through. That I'm just, theory. That's theory based. I think that's hypocritical to do so. I think that's hypocritical to do so because you don't know for a fact if that works. You're regurgitating something. Y'all putting all this stuff in my eyes, honey and all this stuff. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be walking around here Ray Charles blind because you want to say theory. And theory, not something you haven't even had cataracts. Now I'm getting on something else. You're telling me something in theory, not something that you know for yourself. I'm not going to be walking around here, Ray Charles mama put that stuff on his eye. All that stuff on his eye and he was blind. But anyway, this is what I was going to, let me get back. So buying power versus money circulation. Although blacks have 1 trillion gross national income, I explained earlier that if just 20% of blacks left America, how would that affect the GDP? If you didn't listen to that, then watch this video. I know it's long. So although blacks have over 1 trillion gross national income, only 2% is reinvested in the black community. Money needs to stay in the black community for longer. Currently, $1 circulates 6 hours. 6 hours in the black community compared to 20 days in the Jewish community and 30 days in the Asian community. What good is going to do for you to get reparations and then you don't know how to do it? You don't know what to do with it. Go get bigger televisions or televisions. You go traveling on the world. Get your steak, seafood. Because that's what many people did with the PPP loans. They didn't invest it in crypto. They didn't invest it at all. They spent it. And as Reverend Ike says, when you spend money, it has end on it for a reason. In the word spend, you put an end to it. How many people took PPP loans and invested? So, 30 days in the Asian community, 20 days in the Jewish community, 6 hours in the black community. Chris thought out loud, this is terrible. No wonder we have crime, shootings, bad schools. Although my parents have nice things, they have no time for me because they don't understand money and money circulation. Then he thought, money answers all things, which is in the Bible, Ecclesiastes. Chris immediately FaceTimed his best friend named Christy to talk about the article that he had read and asked if Mr. Smith, their math teacher, could explain why the black dollar stayed in the black community only 6 hours. Christy replied, Mr. Smith wouldn't be able to explain this. He only teaches math in a boring way, not how we can use math and money in our world. Chris agreed. In fact, it wasn't just Mr. Smith who taught that way. All of his teachers taught that way. It's right here in my book. Well, thank you, Ezra and Conscious Cat, for the super chats. They're going to buy all the Jordans then. Yep, they'll buy the Jordans. They want to invest in crypto or real money, gold or silver or copper. Thank you so much, Ezra, for the $20 super chat. I appreciate that you appreciate. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you all. You all don't understand the energy that it takes for me, even when I rant to get this knowledge and information out. I am tired. I need to rest, aka reset now. You're going to want to listen to my next live stream. I'm planning on doing that later on, a couple of hours after I get some rest. I'm going to show you how XLM will be the world reserve currency, XRP price, and then April, XRP, XPR, XLM, HDC, their connection with April. I'm also going to break down the USD clock, the gold to silver ratio, and understanding the theory behind the XRP $10,000 price prediction and XLM $1,400 price prediction. Also, if you notice that silver is approximately almost $30 at spot price, $40, which is shipping and handling. We got XLM, which is price or pegged to silver at 40 cents. We got XRP, which is price or pegged, and the only two approved by the IMF as a stable coin, pegged to gold. And I'm going to show you how XLM is going to be the world reserve currency, right? Under 50 cents right now. Thank you all so much. Thank you for being a new subscriber. Thank you for being a new subscriber. The book is on my website. Thank you for asking. Both of these books. I have 111 things that I've learned from being around millionaires and multimillionaires over the years. And one of my notes of the 111 notes is you don't need finances all the time. You just need friends. You need some rich friends. Being around people, right? If you hang around 5 broke people, you'll be the 6th one. That's the law of attraction, right? But if you hang around 5 millionaires, multimillionaires, because you'll take on their habits, their mindset, and their wisdom and knowledge, you'll be the 6th. So you can go to millimoves.com, get Crypto Chris Profits, and also you can get your silver at spot price. Your silver is on there as well. You can put it on autopilot. And your copper, there's a global shortage on copper. Global shortage on copper, and silver is the most undervalued asset in the world. I love you all. The website is right there, millimoves.com. It's on the screen, right? I love you all, no matter your ethnicity, your race. But I also educate my race first on the truth so they can be enlightened, so they can know what time, what season, what we're in, what year we're in. And this is the year of the snake. Right. This is the stellar year. This is going to be the ADA year. This is going to be a lot of the XRP years. And let me tell you how something. If you knew what was coming, you will prepare and learn about crypto, and these physical coins. Because I think your very life, I know your very livelihood depend on it. Someone says, I have colloidal silver, and that is connected to XPR as well. I have colloidal silver in my house. I actually purchased it from Billy Carson, the 1111 in the background. I purchased my colloidal silver from him. Proton is the God particle in physics. It's in all matter of proton in an atom. The symbolism is taken token. The symbolism is all token. Will grow. Look at you. Let me read that again because, I am adjusting to these new glasses. Proton is the guide particle in physics. It's in our matter as the proton in an atom. The symbolism is all token. Our tokens will go through XPR network wrap. My goodness. My goodness. My goodness. We got to say it in the Trinity. And it's so cheap, right? It is so. Listen. Oh my goodness. You all got me on here almost 2 hours. I'm going to have to take a real power nap. Let me pull it up real quick. Let's pull up the price real quick. I could teach this now, but I don't need to break it up. I don't need to tie too much of crypto into this because I have some other people who just want to understand the 14th Amendment. But if you understand 14 connected to XPR, XRP, and XLM, and this is the time. So what's XPR right now? Oh, and it's down 13%. What's this XRD showing the 111? This is showing a 111 right here. What's XRD? I never heard of it. Rated. It's interesting. Only market cap 119 million. But we got XPR market cap. You all look how just low market cap. Out, not popular, talked about, just in the cut at 0.005. Not even a penny yet. And it's going to make big change. I also shared the gematria with you all that XRP, XPR, and XLM all had headquarters out of in San Francisco. Their companies in San Francisco. Then we got California. Wow, the fires in California. And then you have Philadelphia Eagle ties to San Francisco as well. And we have the smart city agenda. If you all are coming in later, I explained earlier that California is that state that has the best solar energy because it never rains in Southern California and sunshine state, no clouds. Smart city comes in, smart fires just happen to pop up. And then you got XLM, XPR, XPR, XRP all in San Francisco. You just got some XPR the other day. Zinga, I don't think I even recall you being on her. Are you new to my channel? The economy magazine is taking or talking about XPR. 5-4 is the symbol on the eagle. Well, it's actually a phoenix. 5-4 is the symbol on the necklace, which is the golden ratio, 1:16, the golden ratio. They at least food them. Okay, we got 85 people on. Let's go. I mean, rest is for sucker. Look, buy crypto, suckers. I still hear that. Buy crypto, suckers. Let's pull that up. Let's go, Zinga. Let's go. Buy crypto, suckers. You all don't know what I'm talking about, but with the buy crypto suckers, that was one of the cartoons that I uploaded on my channel. And the all-seeing eye, the triangle with the bricks on it that represent BRICS nations, is saying, buy crypto, suckers. Even cash, fiat cash, is telling you to buy crypto. All right, Zinga, let's go. Let's break this down. Chain link. We got the number 10. Number 10 is the 10 dukas. from Ryan Fucker and the FUGG. I'm not using profanity. Fucker family. 10 Ducas was a gold coin, the most prominent coin. I think year was 1614 that coin came out, that only the wealth and powerful and prominent people had access to for trade in that. And let's see. So chain link, the Fleur de Lis. I told you I'll look at let me pull that up as well. The LIX, the 59, 5 plus 9, Super Bowl 59 logo. Super Bowl 59 logo has that in the X, and it's right there in the X on purpose. Same logo. All right, the Phoenix Bird chain link, the coin, Bitcoin, other current, we got Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Litecoin. That was on the Simpsons 1997 whiteboard, Crypto Born, season 31, episode 13, the flipping of numbers, the flipping, right? All of those were corn, and then they talk about corn, CRRN, because getting money off of the grid. He said, I have a hedge fund. You can't use Bitcoin when he said when the grid goes out. So he talked about, so I have a hedge fund. So he showed his hedges for $20, and he showed corn, the commodity, right? The commodity. So that coin not only represents the fucker, the gold coin, but also represents Bitcoin, and as well as the gold coin, the fucker coin, and the gold itself, real money. 10, I did the gematria on that. That goes out to Bitcoin. The number 10 also means 10 decades. This was released in 1988. In 2008, 10 years, we saw the Russian ruble. It collapsed over oil and their economic system. And then in 2008, United States had the great housing market crash. And then 2018, which is also 10 decades, is shown on this gold coin, which also equals 11. 8 plus 1 is 9 plus 2, the gateway number, the gateway portal, the year of the start. Cryptocurrency had the biggest crash ever in history. Call it the red, bloody crypto crash in 2018. Then 2018 just ushered in 2019, which also affected our global economy as well. We have XRP, the Phoenix. In the Phoenix, you see backwards XIN. That's for Zenfin. Ticker symbol XDC, out of Singapore. For trade, again, the Fleur de Lis, Ryan Fucker, OpenCoin, 2014. 2014 equals 7. 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 is divine transition, right? So Fleur de Lis, we see Zenfin is going to be that trade currency, that the open coin that was rebranded to Ripple in 2014 will be. Now, see, fiat currency is burning. So Zenda says SPR is the FIFO, is a symbol on that eagle. Where is that, Zenda? Let me know what you're talking about. On the that's the Phoenix, but okay, I see your comment. The purple XRP flag on the Bear Riddle is not talking about XRP. It's actually talking about SPR. The flag is depicting a hook, XRP royal purple, which is the color. Yes, I talked about the color purple all the time. The color purple, the color of royalty. Tesla. Tesla also had, he has a purple coin, a purple coil. Tesla wanted AC energy and not DC energy, and Thomas Edison fought him. Tesla caused this tower for the people. The Black leaders, again, Jesse James and Al Sharpton said power to the people, but Tesla said tower to the people. That traces back to Genesis 11, the Tower of Babel. What is Babel? Babel means a language. And when they was on one language, which the United States dollar is currently the world reserve currency that every country has to go through for its precious commodities. They were building that tower. They were on one accord. And then the gods, plural, according to King James Version of Genesis 11 again, gateway portal, 9/11, 2001. What was buried underneath the rubble of the Twin Towers? Over $500 million worth of gold. Why? That's money. That was a wealth transfer. Real money. Most people have worked all their lives, do not know what real money is. So this is cash burning out of the ashes will arise a phoenix. So you said, I see the PHOE in phoenix. Let me go back to your other comment. The golden ratio is Saturn, like the symbol of the eagles, which is phi. Oh, in Greek, look it up. I sure will. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. You had my curiosity, as Leonardo DiCaprio said in Django. Now you have my attention. V5, bro. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me show you how this. Wait a minute. Speaking of that, when I put the PHI in, look up Philadelphia Eagles. As we see the year of the snake. Philadelphia is tied to San Francisco. It's my prediction that they will win over the Kansas City Chiefs. All right. Okay, I also know that zero with the slash on it because this is a vertical slash. But the zero and the slash on the Phoenix means to zero out, right? That cash, fiat, the old system is zero out. We already zero out. Most people don't know it. 5-4, uppercase, lowercase, 21st letter of the modern Greek alphabet. Now I'm thinking about 21. Ancient Greek represents, my goodness, wave functions. Golden ratio. You know what? I might as well. I've been on here long. Let me go ahead and show you what I'm show you anyway. So Zenfin represents wave function. This was all over the Simpsons. Again, the flipping of the numbers. The ocean blue Zenfin. The wave that's connected. The flippers on the Simpsons. Season 31, episode 13. The flippers in the background. Fins. When swimmers swim in the ocean, they're called both flippers and fins. And then fishes, what do they have? Fins. Swim in the waves. That's why I said there was not XRP on those flippers. There was X. The X was for Zenfin. And then you see the similarity of Arcas and Zentin of the Phoenix. Now, I want to show you all this because my mind is really, really going now. That there's the fleur de lis. The same on the Phoenix head for the Super Bowl on the X. San Francisco's colors, when you think about the San Francisco's 49ers gold rush, right? They showed you the 49ers last year. They lost the Super Bowl. It wasn't the time. But look at the colors. Now, the old colors of Philadelphia Eagles was ocean blue and like a Vegas gold, right? They've changed the colors now to a white and green. We think about Eagles, you could think of the United States. At first, I was like, well, that means that the United States will, beat out China from an economic standpoint because Kansas City has the China colors, the red and the yellow are like goldish like colors. But I was like, no. And then look at the dates on the 9, right? 9 plus 2 is 11. Then the 2 plus 5 is 7. That gives you the 711. This lines up to Bitcoin. 711 is in Bitcoin decoding. But there's the Fleur de Lis on the 1980 Economist, the Phoenix. Phoenix, the United States dollar, on the back of the dollar, it's a phoenix on there with 13 arrows in the hand, 13 feathers, 13 stripes on the crest of the phoenix of the US dollar. Again, number 1. But then America's bird used to be the phoenix, but they changed it to the eagles. Now, chiefs can hunt buffaloes. They played the Buffalo Bills, aka Dollar Bill, and they killed them and they used them for food and clothing and a lot of other things, right? But chiefs, they have to have a special consent and permission because the eagle is considered as a spiritual bird. They just can't. And so the chief used the eagle's feathers and all that. It is a very spiritual bird for them. So they're not going to kill this eagle. So I'm just going on record telling you that I believe Philadelphia is going to win, but that's not going to help the United States economy or dollar, just because we're tied to the dollar. Now, I went on a rant. So what I was supposed to be looking at, what did I say? So the golden ratio, okay. So the golden ratio, and then I brought up the wave in that to tie you out to Zenfin, means the wave, but also know that 0 / mathematically means to zero out. So we are zeroing out, starting on a clean slate of all fiat currencies. This is what happened to Zimbabwe. This dollar is worthless now, right? So now that you brought up the golden ratio, you had my curiosity. Now you have my attention. Let me teach this. Let me teach this. Let me teach this. Let me do my Deion Sanders swag. I probably won't even do another live stream today because I'm already teaching it. Let me fix this camera. Thank you. Zenga, where are you from? You ought to understand how God just sent these angels or these messengers to me to give me deeper revelation. Marshall Hayner, the CEO of Metallicus, gave 100% to restore a First Philadelphia Bank of the United States is symbolic. The Doge Department, Elon, will use XPR. My goodness. You got me really want to just get out this live stream right now and go and purchase me some more XPR. Especially while it's in the red. And got so much going through my mind. Also, you all, Philadelphia has ties to San Francisco. Put it up. I can't remember exactly what it is right now. All right, let me show you the US debt clock while I look for that. Since you top, here it is. Here it is, Zinga. Since you brought up the gold standard, this is going to tie into XLM and XRP. So Philadelphia and San Francisco in 77. Oh, that's a lesson plan. San Francisco have a history that includes the Declaration of Independence, the Anza Expedition, the San Francisco Mint, and the naming of streets. In 1776, Thomas Jefferson wrote a Declaration of Independence at the San Francisco Hall in Philadelphia. 1776, the Anza Expedition traveled 1,200 miles present day, Mexico to San Francisco. The expedition's goal was the colonization of California for Spain. And you know what you'll find in Spain, you all? a whole lot of black Jews in Spain. Also, we know 1998, the Economist magazine. Let's go back 100 years to 1888. Nikola Tesla, again, he patented the first practical AC current, what I talked to you all about, induction motor, gave lecture about the electrical engineers, the first practical AC. He was against Thomas Edison and J.P. Morgan, who financed Thomas Edison. Who wanted DC energy. Why did they want DC energy? Because they can charge you for your light bill, electrical bill. They can charge you for water. This is Tesla, as we talk about XPR and the miraculous purple plate. They create positive energy and feel for themselves. The Tesla purple plates, right? Look at that. The tower. What's on The Simpsons season 31, episode 13? That purple tower from Shanghai to Grenada. Let's talk about this golden ratio. We got 100 and some people in. I need all of you all right now to hit that like button. I'm transitioning now from Back to the Future, going back, showing you the past to bring you to the present. I mean, if I got it, I don't know what y'all talking about. America's bird is the thunderbird. It's the ball-eyed eagle. I don't know what Thunderbird is. XRP is $3 for right now. We're talking about XPR, not XRP. Right. Okay, I'm not going to some of these things. I don't know if blue and gold is Hebrew colors. You can research that. I was bringing up the blue and the gold because of Zenfin and the waves. All right. Now let's talk about this dead clock that they don't teach you about in school, that for most people it is difficult to understand. Oh, I'm like, who's that outside? It's my daughter. I bet she's going to be like, Mama, you still live streaming? Okay. All right. So let's go over the dollar to silver ratio. You need to understand this because you need to understand the pegging or the pricing on that chart of XLM and XRP to silver and gold, right? So you see that the dollar to silver ratio is priced here at $1,255 an ounce. Now, in 1913, it's showing right here, you could buy an ounce of silver for just $2.65. But now, according to this image, you need $1,255 to buy an ounce of silver. So what that means is, and the same thing with the dollar to gold ratio. In 1913, an ounce of gold would cost $28.40. Now, today, it would cost $9,720 per ounce, right? This means over time, the purchasing price of the dollar has drastically decreased, making silver and gold more expensive when it's priced in dollars. So this is showing that if silver right now and gold was priced in dollars as well as it should be. Now, why is it not priced in dollars? Because in 1971, President Nixon, Tricky Dick Nixon, removed the pricing of gold and silver, which is real money, right, into dollars. But if it was priced in dollars right now, this is what each price would reflect or be. Now, this will make silver and gold more expensive when priced in dollars. And then also other countries like China just said they discovered $80 billion worth of physical gold. It would definitely make other countries more prosperous than the United States. Why? Because the United States does not have any gold. And the gold that they do have, they owe to other countries to erase their foreign debts that they have not paid. So the dollar has lost a significant amount of its value. That's why Rob Kiyosaki says, if you're saving dollars, you're losing. If you're saving, you're losing. So it's lost a significant amount of its value due to inflations and changes in the monetary system. So, with this being said, this is why rich and wealthy people, I'm still live streaming, are investing in silver. So by comparing this to the 1913 and current ratio, silver is a 474x increase, 1,255 to $2.65, and gold is a 342 increase of $28.40 to 9,720. So what this means is the dollar has the value, you are roughly 475 times when comparison to silver and 342 times against gold since 1913. Silver's ratio, however, increase is larger than gold. So because silver is, again, is both industrial metal and monetary as well. Now, because silver right now is undervalued or suppressed compared to gold over time. Now let me go ahead, since I got some super chats and somebody said they was gonna buy my book, and that put me in a good mood that I feel appreciated. The paper to silver ratio. What does this mean? Well, for every ounce of silver, there is 379.64 paper claims or contracts. That means if everyone holding these paper claims tried to exchange them for the real actual silver, the physical silver, only a tiny fraction of them will actually get that metal. That's what the paper to silver ratio means. So silver is higher than gold at 379.64 and gold is 127.54. Same thing with gold. For every 127.54 paper claims, it's more paper claim than exists than the actual amount that's available, you all. You all, please hear this too. Please hear this. So the gold to silver ratio is the actual amount of silver needed to buy an ounce of gold. So let's look at what is the gold to silver ratio. I think it's 91. I think it's 91 to 1. Let's look at the gold to silver ratio today. So now the gold to silver ratio, okay, is 88. Ooh, the number 8, upside down infinity sign. All right. Revelation 1:11. I'm the Alpha and Omega, the intertwining, the beginning of the end. So it's currently 88. So what does that mean? The gold to silver ratio is currently 88. That means as of right now, it would take 88 ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold. It would take 88 ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold. So why is that important? Why is that important? Because this shows that silver is grossly undervalued right now. And what's pegged to silver in the crypto world? XLM. Underpriced. Most undervalued asset in the world. Now, when you see that ratio starts dropping to maybe 40 or 50, silver, the price of it is going to escalate. When it's high, like 88 to 1, that means it's cheap, it's undervalued. But when it begins to get low, that means it's going to have more room to grow. A higher gold to silver ratio means the best time to buy. But when that lower gold to silver ratio happens, that means you are, and in plain old layman terms, because I'm looking at my notes to make sure, that silver will rise in its value faster than gold. You think I'm coming out here just say go to millermoves.com, telling you about silver, telling you about XLM, telling you right now 40 cents XLM is grossly overpriced, XPR is grossly overpriced, undervalued. And when those claims, because the claims will come, when this collapse happens, The claims are gonna come. People gonna want their physical money. The rich and wealthy Robert Kiyosaki just released a video that he's actually selling some of his silver right now for Bitcoin because he got in that silver at $10 an ounce. But a lot of us are getting it in at $30 an ounce, right? Go to millionmoves.com. All the silver like this with artwork, it's the best of two worlds. Queen Elizabeth, her pictures portraits are not even printed on money anymore due to her death at 96, which is a whole nother thing. Gematria is 69, as above, so below. That's what her death represented at that age. Then you see the purple, the violet for the XPR, and the blue in this coin, for example, for Zenfin XDC. Then we have the red, the year of the snake, right? The China and the dragon as well. That represents the flare network with the gold outlining. Bitcoin is gold. So this chart that has been taught wrong. Oh, big X, the plug, that's XPR. He's showing you all the purple and all the diamonds. He said 30K on my wrist just for hard times. He's showing you the gold. He says, even in foreigns, I'm heartless. Yay. That's XPR, the plug. I'm telling you. But I broke this down to the Florida list. Again, the same thing that's on the Super Bowl, right? On the XRP. Open Coin, 10 Dukas, Fugger family, a group of European bankers right here. Right? That's what all this represent. The past of pegging old technology, Ripples. Ryan Fugger actually founded Ripple Pay in 2004, and then which owns the trademark Ripple Communication. So the House of Fugger, a German family Fugger, historically predominant European bankers. Like I said, Jesus and his disciples, 13 people, transformed, changed the world. These 13 European rich families, including the Rothschilds, they own the world. That's their symbol again. That was on the 1988 economists. Control much of the European economy in the 16th century. Now, I don't think I said this too. I know that means to zero out cash. The 10 ducats is what this original coin was called. 10 decades. You see how old this is? Like this is in the 1600s type stuff. Interstellar right here. This is the Interstellar. This is what I think I was saying 2014. Interstellar, the movie, was released in 2014. This is also Saturn, the ring around Saturn. In May of this year, 2025, you will not be able to see the Saturn symbol on Saturn because of the angle. It's going to be there. We just won't be able to see it. That happens this year. This is the German Fucker, 1621, 10 ducats. That's why we have 10 here above the mathematical, to zero out, to eliminate, reset, 2018 equals 11, gateway portal, and the year of crypto crash, and the same Phoenix right here, the Florida flags. And as you said, the 5-4, the Greek means the gold coin. This was the Fugger coin, German state, right? So thank you for bringing it out. I would never went over the US debt clock. So last thing, all right. We have now, let me pull up that chart for you. XLM pegged to silver, XLM pegged to gold. I'm not going to do a second live stream. I'm covering what I was going to cover in this one anyway. Trying to find that chart, you all. Give me a second. All right, here we go. I can't do that. I've been, we watched this live stream. I talk about all 2025 and how that equals the number 9, that which is hidden will be revealed. why the 14th Amendment, why Trump brings that out, the Great Reset, why, the freeze, a temporary freeze on food stamps, possible student loans, old monetary system transitioning out. March in the in the Julian calendar, Hebrew Greek calendar is the first month of the year. So we'll wait until a lot of things that happen in March. Springs happen in March, season change, first of the year. And then that's going to go into April. April is going to be a really big month for cryptocurrency, including XRP. Then we're going to see crypto start to take off in March. Parabolic bull run. Trump is here to usher in reparations for blacks in slavery and to bring in this new world economy, also known as New World Order and the Great Reset. So that's my wrap up of 2025. Jesus died on the ninth hour. That which is hidden will be revealed, right? Yep. Now we see XLM is pegged or priced to silver. XRP is pegged or priced to gold. I just showed you how the US debt clock, why silver is undervalued right now at an 88-to-1 ratio. I brought that ratio down. XLM is undervalued at 40 cents as well. We know Zenfin is also pegged or priced to copper. Global shortage on copper. Algorand, tokenization of real estate, is priced or pegged to palladium. Also, Algorand and IOTA is quantum resistance. That's a big thing. You need to research the quantum financial system. Zenfin, again, waves, big waves on the Simpsons as well. Gematria equals 3113. That was the exact episode of the Simpsons, season 31, episode 13, that showed Zenfin and is an XPR with the purple. The world trade and institutional value of contracts is what Zenfin will cover. Also, other quantum resistant coins shown on the Simpsons as well include ADA and HBAR. HBAR is also shown in Back to the Future, as well as XRP, the X rather, for Back to the Future. And I think AXL is shown in a taxi cab of Back to the Future too, AXL crypto. This shows stablecoin, the only two that are approved by the IMF, International Monetary Financial, is XLM and XRP, right? So the price of these tokens are pegged or priced to a commodity. I've shown you right now why millionaires, everybody's buying silver. Now let me show you why XLM will be the world's Revelation 13, 17, the world's payment currency that no man can buy or sell, and why it's on the 88 economies as the interstellar, as the Saturn, as the Sabbath day. I'm on Bing, and I don't like Bing. I like Google, because Google, I already have the article that I'm looking for tied in. So let me go back to Google. All right, so Stella joined the Bytecode Alliance. Bytecode. And yes, Marty's shirt has that. Also, they have it. You all make me want to go back and teach the Simpsons. And on their the XPR is also that's a logo too for quantum resistance as well. For the quantum resistance, the quantum financial system. Zinga says, Zinga, you never told me what part of the world you are tuning in from. I'm so curious. You guys have no idea how huge XPR is. She thinks it's excellent, but have no idea. I love her info. Listen, honey, I've been teaching on XPR. I've been teaching on XPR and telling people how big XPR is. But let's go to this. Why? And listen, as I've told people, just because Stellar is going to be the world reserve currency, that does not take away from XRP RXPR, which is Fed Now payments and credit unions, and on the Fed Now system, RXRP from the on-demand liquidity for instant liquidity for bonds and the real estate and derivatives market. Derivatives market is the Forex market, which is a 1 quadrillion market. But all of this is on Stellar. So I mean, XPR and XLM are so dirt cheap right now. Like, just get them all. And XRP is showing a 33 right now. So Stellar joins buy to cent code, because the Stellar. That's why this is my platform and not yours. We can agree to disagree, but I'm teaching what I know without a fact. Doesn't discredit what the other cryptos are going to do. I'm the one of the very few channels exposing XPR and Metallicus and how big that Proton network is. And it more than, even though Stellar is going to be the world reserve currency, I still believe XPR is still going to be bigger than Stellar. But that doesn't take away from this being the world reserve currency. This was all on Professor Frank, which represent Bitcoin, on the Simpsons eyeglasses, this logo. So Stellar Development Foundation had joined the Buy to Get Code Allowance industry promoting development of web assembly. So in other words, Web3, Ethereum virtual machine used by Ethereum ecosystem to shape the future of Web3. Now, why is this big? Why is this big? Because if you're going to be the global reserve currency, you have to have all of these under your umbrella. This article brought out, I read it, that at first Stellar, the intentions of Stellar, here we go, began as payment networks in 2014, but in 2022, again, we saw ISO and 22 all over the Simpsons. And fact, let me see something. Okay, so in 2022, it implemented smart contracts to provide more functionality to the network. In April, I told you, April again, big month, especially with Nissan 14 coming up this April, Hebrew calendar. Stellar developers chose WARMS as their computation engine. They argue that despite the popularity of EVM, its storage and execution. Now, why is this big? This caused nonprofit organizations of internet companies such as Amazon, Cisco, Intel, Microsoft, and others to now be under Stellar's network. You're not going to be the global reserve currency and you don't have the big global powerhouse organizations like Amazon, Costco, Intel, and Microsoft under your network. I agree with you, Zenga. Ripple is simply working with XPR, and I've covered SHX on this channel with that collaboration. Well, thank you so much, Carolyn Mag. I got 3 super chats today. That's the number of Trinity. Thank you all that gave the super chats. Let's see. Zenga says XPR is BSA compliant, Bank Security Act, the Act of Law, and other blockchain has that. Love your wisdom. I'm not. I've been one of the channels. It's only like a handful of us. Crypto, what's the other man? He gives some great video. Crypto something. He gives great videos on XPR. Great videos on XPR. I got the Florida the list number on my shirt today that I did not know. I just put it on to live stream. Thank you all so much. After doing a 2-hour live stream, a woman has to use the restroom. Thank you, Israel. Thank you, Conscious Cat. Thank you, Israel, again for the tax-free donation support of the channel and my time and my knowledge and intellectual property. I love you all. I agree, like buying XRP early, folks, XPR. Proton Rick. I will look at Proton Rick. I love your avatar picture as well. I will look at Proton Rick. I didn't know Crypto Kapai. It starts with a C, not just Bully Bear. I'm just gonna pull it up because I gotta get this man credit. Even though they don't give me credit, that's okay. But you said Proton Rick, and I think I know what Proton Rick is. I think I've seen his. See, can I find this other channel real quick? 70 credit unions to use Meta blockchain and SPR. Crypto Lycan, that's what I meant to say. Crypto Lycan, like a wolf, right? Let me show you all his channel as well. I think this is a great channel to go, and he does such great decodings of XPR bank transfer hidden codes. I haven't seen this one. He only has 3,000 subscribers. This is showing a 44 and 11. So I gotta watch this. But I absolutely love his decodings of this. I even love that picture. Oh, he got the Wolf of Wall Street. I gotta watch this one. Do you all want me to play it? Listen, do you all want us to just watch it together? I don't think I get a copyright strike. Yep, Titan 88. I have his direct phone number. Let's just listen. I'm gonna watch it anyway, so we're gonna watch it together, right? Let's watch this.
Fucking shit. Unbelievable.
Well, Rita, it looks like you'll be withdrawing $4 million.
$4 million? Say yes. Say yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, I am so glad I went to that one. The 38 is showing 11, 114. I remember that, and with Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg, I always connected to The Color Purple too. You all remember that movie? I watched it She's always connected to the color purple and that purple. She said 4 million. He told her, say yes. This is called Ghost. In fact, it's called Ghost. So hey, I think this is definitely divine intervention. So I love that. Last thing I'm gonna show you all is Back to the Future 2 live stream. You all make sure you hit the like and share button. AXL and Back to the Future 2, The Big Bang Theory, or the episode The Simpsons, The Flip of the Switch. You mean the flip of the switch that was on the wall? It was 2 switches up and 1 switch down. Zanga, I do have to use the restroom at some point. Let's see. Show you all which is the best one. All right. So that's the X. The red X. They're always in red with flare. That's the H bar. Right? The H bar. This is Back to the Future 2 taxi cab. That's the H. There's the B. That's the connecting bar. This is the A. This is the R, H bar. And I also know Melanie Trump. Now the number is 55. I can't read those numbers right now. But the X is here again. Melanie Trump was wearing that R on her dress at the inauguration. Then you see B right here for Bitcoin. So I really feel sad for people that's told that Bitcoin was a itcoin. It's all over the economies too. And the Simpson Frank coin is Bitcoin. The black, this X right here, black and white, I definitely believe is AXL. Zinga, love you. Listen, we're a family. Okay, Zinga, now Zinga, you just told me you didn't agree with me. I'm just joking. I really believe it's Back to the Future too. We're fams, Zinga, we good. I believe that's what that black and white on that taxi cut was Back to the Future too. AXL. Okay, you all. I'm logging off. Zinga, thank you so much for being available for this live stream. I have taken you all back to the future by divine intervention, and Zinga coming on, and everybody coming on, and Carolyn Mack, and again, everyone that gave the super chats, tax-free donation. Thank you so much. Don't just get the first part in Israel and Conscious Cat. Just don't get the first part about the 14th Amendment and the number 14 and even its biblical intonations of what that means. I'm tying into Nisan 14, the Hebrew calendar, which celebrates the first full moon, by the way. And Bitcoin moves on the full moon on Lunar Classic. Watch all of this. Watch it more than one time. It's a lot of deep things, decoding that have went in. He says, I've seen Zinga here before. I've been on here over 2 hours, William, so just watch this from the beginning. Big things about XPR, big things about our economy, big thing about 2025, big thing about why Trump is in position now, also about reparation. Just a lot of things that's hidden that's being revealed in this live stream. This is your first time here? Okay, Zinga said this is our first time here. Zinga, make sure you're subscribed because usually angelic messengers like you, they just, I see them, they come, they do something, intervene and divine with me like this. And I get the message and I get the esoteric, not X with the X, but exoteric with the S, meaning, and I never see you all again. So if we never communicate via live stream again, whoever you are, what part of the world, thank you for coming on this live stream and finishing the mission and the message that God wanted to be released on this live stream. Thank you, Conscious Cat, for letting me know we finally got to 111 likes. Welcome, Zinga. Yes, welcome you. What a beautiful name, by the way. I'm logging off. I love you all. Share this video, like and subscribe to the channel. Peace. Queen out.